Welcome back, I guess, to UCF and being part of Coach Gus's coaching staff here. When we talked to him the other day, he said you and him go back a long time, that you actually recruited maybe Springdale, the high schools he was at in that area. Can you just kind of take us back to how that started with you getting to know Coach Malzahn?
Well, obviously, he had a great program at Springdale High School, and he had a number of recruits. And back when I was in the Big 12 at a couple stops, Texas and Oklahoma, I had the pleasure of being able to recruit his school and had a chance to get to know him. And I knew he was a guy that had tremendous success in high school and was going to be successful wherever he decided to coach.
Coach, what have the past couple of months been like for you? There were reports that you had left the program in January, and now you're back and under a new staff with Gus Malzahn. So describe to me what this past couple of months have been like for you.
Well, it's just been a process. Obviously, after we finished the season, what was going to be the next step, where were we going? And unfortunately, I'm blessed enough that when Coach got the call for this job, Coach Malzahn, that he was interested in talking to me about joining his staff. And been blessed to be on this staff and just been a whirlwind, really working, getting back in with the kids and just kind of catching up in recruiting and obviously learning a new offensive scheme.
Hey, Coach, Trey Strelko, Sons of UCF. You're the coach with the returning players. You know the folks that you have. Talk about what you have coming back for 2021.
Well, excited about the group of guys. We got a great mix of guys that have made significant plays and played some significant minutes and some talented newcomers. Obviously, the season that Jalen had last year, Jalen Robinson, I guess he was the first team all-league guy and was tremendous for us. And he's going to get better and better and get bigger and stronger. You got guys like Amari Johnson that started to make an impact on special teams and made some plays for us. I mean, some guys like Kayvon Ahmad that have made some plays and been involved with special teams. And then you add some talented newcomers, Brandon Johnson, transfer from Tennessee. And we got Caden Robinson, who was a really, really talented, successful player out of ASA and originally from North Carolina. And then you had a guy like Jalen Griffin, a guy that was a state qualifier in the long jump, tall, athletic, long, good, and outstanding speed.
Darrell, you talked a little bit about this with Coach Malzahn's offense. Is it so far? You guys have only probably got your feet wet in it a little bit. What do you think it's going to look like, and how do you think it'll impact your position group?
Well, the great thing about Coach's offense is it's been versatile. I mean, he's had great running teams. He's had some great running backs in his tenure in college football. I mean, he's produced some of the best rushers in the history of college football, but he was also a guy early in his tenure. I mean, he had a quarterback to throw for 48 touchdown passes one year and I think 47 the next year. A group, I guess, at Tulsa that had 3 1,000-yard receivers. So it's going to be very versatile. We're going to play to the strength of the players. I mean, we're going to be very versatile. We're going to be able to run the football and throw the football.
Coach, you talk a little bit about Marlon Williams last season. Obviously, he's getting ready to, make it at the next level, NFL draft and all that. What was kind of your perception of the breakout year that he had, and what's your expectation for him? I guess he's probably going to do some workouts and do some things, and what's your expectation for him at the next level here in the NFL?
Well, I'm looking forward to see where this thing goes with Marlon, and then we got a couple other guys, obviously, Trey Nixon, Jacob Harris, all those guys will be working out at Pro Day. Looking forward to seeing those guys compete. I think those guys will test well. Marlon had an unbelievable season for us. I mean, he became kind of the go-to guy for us. But you could see the start of his success and his confidence grow the previous season, the last 4 or 5 games. I mean, he had unbelievable numbers, and he just was able to take that and push it forward into 2020 and have an All-American type season. Very proud of him. Think he's going to make a great professional football player because of his versatility. I mean, he can play special teams early. He's big, he's strong. You can do multiple things with him.
Coach, in regards to your 2 top returning wideouts with Jalen and Ryan O'Keefe, can you identify one thing you saw from each of them last year that maybe stood out most among each of them?
Well, let's start with Ryan OKeefe, because I've talked about Jalen a little bit. Ryan OKeefe is one of the fastest guys on our team, if not in all of college football. I mean, he can score from anywhere on the field. If you remember in the Memphis game, he went 90-plus yards on a quick screen that was thrown behind the line of scrimmage. He's continuing to improve and work on his craftsmanship as a wide receiver. He was a quarterback, defensive back in high school, so he's really just starting to scratch the surface of what he can be as a wide receiver. He's a really intelligent guy, a guy that has some physicality to him, I'm really looking forward to him having a breakout year for us. I think he's one of the guys that could have a breakout year. And Jalen, as he gets bigger and stronger, he's going to continue to improve his game. I mean, he's really worked on some of the nuances of the position. Just really looking forward to his game continuing to grow and for him to build off the unbelievable 2020 season he had for us.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to ask you here, with all that's going on, we had mentioned all the speed that we have here in the roster and all that's going on, and you're familiar with a lot of the guys here so far, and you've been in the woodshed with the other coaches getting ready for spring practice. From your perspective, when your feet hit the field for spring practice here coming up, what is the expectation of what you would like to see happen on that first day?
Well, I just like to see the guys fly around, embrace the moment, embrace the change, embrace the new offensive scheme. I mean, obviously, we're going to be going really, really fast. We're going to continue to play with pace. We're going to use pace as a weapon. But again, just embrace the new staff, embrace the change in scheme, and just compete, which is what, obviously, to me, UCF football is all about: competing, playing against anybody, anywhere.
Darrell, you guys got a young group, essentially. Talk about leadership. You mentioned losing guys like Trey, Jacob Harris, who've been around a little bit. How important is it for guys like Jalen, Ryan, and even your new transfer, Brandon Johnson, to be able to come in and maybe provide a little bit of leadership in that room?
Well, absolutely. I mean, again, Jalen's got to take more of a step toward being a leader. He's been around the program now going on his third year. Amari Johnson is a guy that's very vocal. He's a guy that I think is about to be a breakout guy as a return man and also as a wide receiver. I mean, it's very important that those guys embrace the position of leadership and show some guidance, because that's what, to be quite honest with you, UCF football, the wide receiver position has been about. We talk about, we've had some really, really outstanding players the last 4 or 5 years, but the thing that we've done is it's been a next man up mentality. And you take that all the way back from Traquan going to Gabe Davis, to Marlon, to Trey. I mean, the next guy has stepped up, and that's the kind of the mentality that we're going into spring ball with.
Coach, how does having Dylan Gabriel back make things easier for you and your guys?
It means everything. I mean, a guy that started the number of games that he has started, a guy that has the experience, in-game experience. I mean, now his leadership, I mean, is going to be absolutely pivotal, not just the wide receivers, to the offense and the team. I mean, he's embraced a new system. He's in there working overtime, which he has done since he's been here, and he's going to master this system. And we're really going to need his leadership, and I think it's going to be outstanding.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned that your guys going to spring practice, a big key will be to embrace the new coaching staff. It sounds like the new coaching staff has embraced UCF football, as you've seen so far, pretty well, too. What have you heard from that coaching group so far that most excites them about what's coming in 2021?
Well, all these guys are excited to be here, understand what an unbelievable opportunity is, the success this place has had over the years, and just really fired up about the opportunity to see if we can push this thing to another level. I mean, everyone in that room knows, again, what the expectation level is here, the success, and everybody's just chomping at the bit to get out and get on the grass with these kids and go to work. And obviously we've been really hammering recruiting and playing a little bit of catch up and really trying to do a diligent job in the city of Orlando and the state. So again, guys have been really working hard, looking forward to getting on the grass with the guys on Monday.
Darrell, you were the only one left on the staff from last year who was here last year at this time. Obviously, with the pandemic, everything you guys went through as a program, what do you take from that last year, and what kind of stood out to you when we look back a year through all this the chaos of the pandemic?
Well, I just think at the end of the day, don't ever take things for granted. I mean, the program was on an unbelievable run and hit a little bit of adversity, but I think it's going to make the guys that are here that return, I think it's going to make us that much better, that much stronger as a group. I mean, embracing the closeness, togetherness that made those teams great, and just take it as a lesson in life in terms of learning to not take things for granted. I think it's really going to help the guys come together as a unit here in 2021.